Hello there, my name is David Lilly and I'm the Project Director for the Your Choices Matter programme, which launched on the 1st of June 2023. And this presentation is designed to explain more about the programme, the background to it, and what the programme actually consists of. It could be that you're watching this video because you are interested in taking part as a delegate, or it might be that you're a professional from the likes of the NHS, one of our local doctor surgeries, and you want to find out a little bit more about what sits behind Your Choices Matter. Now, Your Choices Matter is brought to you by Elastic FM Limited with support from Derbyshire County Council. Over the course of the next 30 minutes or so, my intention is to explain what the Your Choices Matter programme is and how it came about, share the details of the individual people that are behind the programme. We're going to give you some clear examples of the plan that we have and some of the work and the benefits we plan to offer. We're going to share how you, if you're interested, can enrol or simply to find out more. And just a reminder that this programme is being delivered by Elastic FM Limited with support from Derbyshire County Council. We call the programme Your Choices Matter, and of course Your Choices Matter, that mark is the intellectual property of Elastic FM. So firstly, who are Elastic FM Limited? It makes sense for us to tell you a little bit about the organisation behind the programme. Well, we're what we call a community media organisation. We've been around for 12 years. People often refer to us as an internet radio station. So you can listen to Elastic FM on the internet through your smartphone 24 hours a day, 365 days a year from wherever you are in the world. Now, we were actually granted an FM licence in 2020. We still haven't managed to get ourselves on FM, a combination of the challenges brought about by the global pandemic and some of the funding considerations, but we do intend to try and make ourselves available on the FM frequency as soon as reasonably practical. Elastic FM historically has been largely operated by volunteers. There have been a few people that have been paid for work at Elastic FM, but up until now that has been a very, very tiny percentage. Most of everything we do has been done by volunteers. Now, even though you can listen to Elastic FM anywhere in the world, our intention, our physical footprint is the North East Derbyshire region. That is the region we exist to try and benefit. We created ourselves to support all aspects of our local community, and even though we are known for the audio, the internet audio aspect, we do produce quite a lot of video, or rather we have over the years, and we have talk content as well. So we're not just about music. In terms of our objectives, if we were to try and put that succinctly, we are around to support, influence, inform, educate, and to entertain local people. Simple sentence with a lot of good intent behind it. Importantly, we don't just play music, and I'm going to come on to what I mean by that as the presentation unfolds. We are set up as a formal limited company. You can find out information about us at Company's House. And we currently have 5 directors. We've got Claire Cahill, who, amongst many other skills that she brings, is our finance director. We've got the brilliant Stuart Haywood, who is presenter liaison director, and he takes care of a lot of the technical things that happen within our studio. And then we've got Richard Godley, who joined us with the intention of helping us with grants and fundraising. Alan Wilkinson takes the lead on sporting matters. He is Mr. Chesterfield. He is the voice of Chesterfield. And then there's myself. I am one of the founding directors. In fact, I'm the only director left from the founding days. And for my sins, I became chairman 5 years ago. And that's the core operational team that are responsible for running Elastic FM. In terms of our backstory, we've had 2 different studios, but we've been settled in our current studio for more than 5 years. And that studio is located at 12A North Road in Clown, above the Blossom Lounge and next to the church. Very easy to find. And we've got a purpose-created studio. We've also got what we call a green room, a reception room, a meeting room where some of the activity within this program will take place, with our own small kitchen and toilet as well. Some of our work, it makes sense to just go through this fairly slowly, but without going into too much detail. So some of the programs we've run over the course of the last 12 years include the Elastic FM Community Awards program. We regard ourselves as the original creators of community awards. There are other organisations that have popped up and frankly copied what we do, but we were the organisation that first created community awards. We've been running for several years now, with just a little pause in there for the pandemic, the Elastic FM Christmas Cheer, which is where we get people that are elderly, could be widowed, and we take them into a room and we show them just how much we appreciate them at Christmas. Not on Christmas Day, it's usually in a day in December, but that's a heartwarming event. We don't do Christmas hampers every year, but on 5 occasions in our 12-year history, we've done collections of Christmas hampers. We've even encouraged people to put hampers together and to deliver it to a family who've said that they need it. Again, another heartwarming initiative. The Chesterfield Kindness Project is based around a Facebook group where people can post items that they are prepared to give away, or people can go in there and seek help. We have run a few times Derbyshire's Best Singer, and we plan to reintroduce that in the years ahead. Derbyshire's Best Picture. Throughout pandemic, we wanted to encourage people to get out and enjoy our local region, enjoy our local countryside. And for 2 years, we ran Derbyshire's Best Picture. And that Facebook group is still up and running, and there are some amazing pictures that people have taken in there as well. We also have a program, Through a Child's Eyes. That's where we invite local school children into the studio with either a teacher or their parents at Christmas, and they get to convey a Christmas message, to choose a Christmas song, and it's an opportunity for children to build their confidence and get to hear their voice on the airwaves or on the internet on Christmas Day, and we find that particularly popular amongst grandparents. And then we run various different wellness initiatives. So we've run wellness networking events as well as business networking events around the region over the course of the last 12 years. Getting a little bit more specific, wherever possible, we try and help people that ask us for help. So I was approached by Zoe Edge, and she wanted to run a charity project, and she asked me if I'd help her with a video. So I produced that video working with Zoe. She managed to raise funds for her 2 favourite charities, and the 10-minute video that we ended up producing got 30,000 people who watched it through our Facebook page. And Zoe was able to share with people that you should look beyond someone's wheelchair. Zoe lives with cerebral palsy, but she lives life to the full, and she wanted people to know that because she has that condition, it doesn't stop her going about leading an active and an ambitious life. And that was a beautiful project for us to be involved in. Also, the Chesterfield FC Santa Run, at its origin, when John Cannon first created it, he came to us for help back in 2017, and we did a little simple interview with him, but we shared that video. That video got shared quite a lot around the internet, and we can tell you that from the point that we released that video, John's subscriptions to the event went from 700 to 1,350, and John made the decision to support some worthwhile local charities as well. So it was nice for us to be involved in the kickoff of that initiative with John Cannon, and credit to him for continuing to do that work. I've already mentioned the Christmas Cheer event. This is where literally we get between 50 and 75 elderly people in a room. We prepare a buffet for them. If they want a drink of wine or a beer, we provide that. If they want tea or coffee, they can have that. And they like to play bingo and be entertained and just generally have fun. And we send everybody away from that event with a Christmas shoebox. Another lovely event that we've ran several times during our formation. And this is just a quick picture of the Elastic FM Community Awards. This one's a few years old, but it shows some of the recipients of the awards sharing their certificates. And I can tell you now, it's brilliant to see people who have contributed substantially to their local community. That could be a head teacher, it could be a school teacher, it could be a local businessman, it could be a charitable effort, it could be a whole host of reasons why we give out community awards. But what I can tell you is the people that come along and receive those awards often are really grateful. I've already mentioned the Christmas hamper initiatives. Now, the platform that we run, we are able to produce broadcast quality video when needed. We have a purpose-built studio, so we can actually have people in the studio either to do live broadcast or record a broadcast. We have a strong and good footprint on local social media. We've got the ability to do professional podcasts, and that's very important nowadays with the number of people that are listening to podcasts. We've either organised or attended or supported more community events than I care to mention. And we have a credible website at elasticfm.co.uk where you can read about some of the things that we've been involved in over the years. Important to point out that we can broadcast live from any event. For about 15 months, we were doing all of the Chesterfield FC commentary from around the country using a system that we created. And although Chesterfield FC use something slightly different, it's based on what they learned from us. So they use us as guinea pigs. We can, through Stream on Demand, which is really podcasts, we can reach a massive audience. I mean, according to Ofcom statistics, nowadays there's around about 10 million Brits that are listening to podcasts and specialist interesting each week. So that is an important part of what we plan to do with the Your Choices Matter programme. And it's very easy to listen to Elastic FM. If you've got a smartphone, download any one of the different radio players. One of the best known ones is TuneIn Radio, and you can listen to us anywhere in the world, anywhere in the country, wherever you are. So on to the Your Choices Matter programme. At its heart, we believe that where we all end up in life is based on the individual decisions that we make, and a collection of those decisions can take us to a very different place in our life. Now, hindsight's a wonderful thing. I'm sure we can all look back on our life and think that if we hadn't taken that choice, made that decision, turned that corner, gone into business with that person, got into a relationship with that lady, married that man, then I'm sure we can all look back and think if we'd have acted differently. But then on a smaller level, people who have challenges with, let's say, alcohol and substance dependency, at some point in their life, they made the first decision to drink alcohol, and then that decision became more and more frequent. So the incidents where they were drinking more alcohol or taking drugs started to grow and grow. So they're all choices. So we believe that the choices that we make can take us into a different direction. They can take us into a really happy, positive, progressive place, but also sadly can also take us into a dark place. And so at its core, what Your Choices Matter is about is encouraging people to be more conscious of the choices that they make. And if you add good choices, if you layer good choices on the top of each other every single day, then the direction of your life can take a more positive turn. Now, there are 5 key program modules. Firstly, we've got a mental well-being aspect. We all talk nowadays about mental well-being. There's a huge number of people around the world that are reported as suffering from anxiety and depression. And of course, the chronic financial crisis here in the UK and other parts of the world compound that. So mental well-being is a key part of what we do. We also know, and science proves, that what we eat can make a dramatic impact to how we feel, particularly if we are not careful about what we eat on an ongoing basis. Again, it comes back to those choices. If we make a choice to eat unhealthy food every day and we don't move our body enough, then we know that we're taking a fast track to disease and illness. However, if we eat healthy food, and I'm talking about a mix of fruit and vegetables and healthy protein, and we exercise on a regular basis, then our life can go in a completely different direction. Our health can go in a different direction. We can live longer. We can have more energy and more vitality. So food nutrition is a key part of the program that we plan to talk to our delegates about. Physical fitness. We're not necessarily talking about people who might want to run a marathon or want to take part in an Iron Woman or an Iron Man contest. For some people, physical fitness is just literally shedding a few pounds, getting better cardiovascular health. That might come on the back of taking regular walks in the countryside, but physical fitness is a key area for us to look at. And then life planning. One of the things that we know, based on the research that we've done about people that suffer from an addiction to alcohol or to substances, is often you examine their lives and they don't have many interests in their lives other than their habit. And one of the things that we want to do is to help people plan their life to understand themselves and find some of those interests that stimulate them and give them more to think about than just the habit that they've developed over the years. And the other part of the program is going to look at things such as digital skills and other interests. So they're the key components of the program. In terms of finding new interests, we are hoping to encourage people to look at whatever it is that might stimulate them. We might want to encourage them to give something a try. Now, that might be painting. It might be learning how to produce a podcast and publish that podcast. It might be literally doing their own live radio show with all the friends and family listening at home. It could be developing a habit, a healthy habit of walking in the countryside. It might be that someone literally can't cook, doesn't know how to do a proper meal from scratch. We may be able to stimulate that interest as well. And there might be people out there that want to get creative, learn how to do graphic design, or learn how to produce and distribute content on social media. This list is not exhaustive. Obviously, the interests are going to be dictated by the people and the delegates who take part in our program. We also know that people who've suffered from a dependency on alcohol and drugs can often find themselves unemployed. And what we would like to do is to help people understand how they can apply for a job, where the different places are that they can find vacancies, how to produce a curriculum vitae or a CV that stands out from the crowd, how to go along to an interview, what to do with your appearance, what research to do about the company that's employing you, and how to answer some of the questions that are going to be tabled to you when you attend an interview. So helping people find and sustain employment is another key part of the program. Now, when delegates join the program, we intend to do an initial assessment. And this initial assessment is basically a series of questions. Now, it's optional from the point of view as the delegates don't have to answer everything if they don't want to. We would encourage them to answer as many of the questions that you're seeing on the screen right now, because that will help us to understand their life circumstances, their desires, their challenges, the things that they are afraid of, the things that they're not afraid of, how they currently spend their time, and what they perceive a better life to look like, because that discovery process will enable us to understand the individual, their challenges, their circumstances, their motivations, and we can look at what our program has to offer, and then we can deliver it to match their needs. And of course, to ensure that we can measure how effective our program has been, we intend to capture and hold that discovery information in a secure way, complying with GDPR, General Data Protection Regulations. We are registered with the Information Commissioner's Office, but it is important to run a program like this that we're able to measure the impact that we've had on lives. Now, the team that's going to be responsible for delivering, there are 4 key people. There will be other people involved in the program as well, but these are the 4 prominent faces that you can expect to see and hear from. We've got Wendy Mayhen, who is a qualified psychotherapist based in Chesterfield, and she will be running some group sessions, but the odd individual session as well. Then we've got Claire Cahill, fortunate to have Claire on board. She's an award-winning life coach and author, and she will be particularly useful at helping people start the process of how to plan what someone wants their life to look like, and then how to take steps to progress towards that. Again, lucky to have Louise Riley on board, a qualified nutritional advisor amongst many other qualifications. That Louise is going to take the lead on the types of food that you can eat, but also some of the supplements that you might need to take to support a body that's in recovery from alcohol and substance dependency, and to move towards a healthier life. And then myself, as overall project director, I'll be the person that's linking all of the different digital aspects together, including making videos about the program, recording podcasts. But I also have my own highly respected planning system, life planning system, called the Deborah Formula, which can be found at thedeborahformula.com. It was actually created 15 years ago and has now been published as completely free to use. If anybody's interested, that's thedeborahformula.com. So we will be the 4 people who will be most involved in running the program, with 2 or 3 people supporting us administratively behind the scenes. Now, how will we deliver the program? So there'll be some in-person sessions, and these will be held at our studio on North Road in Clown, but occasionally we might hire a village hall for a few hours or work with a local partner who's got space that we can use. We may do on locations. That could be a country walk, it could be a picnic, it could be a trip to Cresswell Crags, it could be a fitness session at a local gymnasium, circuit training, some gentle exercise, some in-studio training. So this will be for people who want to produce their own radio show and have their friends listen. what a proud moment that would be. So some of that training will be in the studio. And then digital content, I'm going to explain this in a bit more detail, but we know that some people won't necessarily want to take part in what we do face to face, but they are susceptible to being inspired by the content that they might watch or they might listen to. More on that later. So the program is designed to stimulate interests, uncover competencies, and ultimately allow people to connect with others, to contribute to the world, to gain that feeling of significance, and ultimately to grow. And connection, contribution, significance, and growth are all ingredients that contribute towards a happy and fulfilling life. I mentioned earlier about digital media. Now, we all know there is two pandemics that we've had to cope with. One was COVID-19, and the second one is the addiction that people have to their smartphones, their technology. We don't believe that it's going to be an addiction that's easy to overcome. So as opposed to swimming against the stream and not publishing any digital content about our program whatsoever, we have to respect the fact that 96% of people between the ages of 16 to 24 own a smartphone. 78% of over 55s own a smartphone. Those trends we need to overcome. We must embrace them. And our program will provide content that can support people who are in recovery from alcohol and substance dependency through various of our different social media groups, but also our website. Our plan, we have a website, which I'm going to come on to later. That's a dedicated website for the program. We've also got a dedicated podcast program called Your Choices Matter. And we will also have a variety of different places on social media. There is a Facebook group set up already called Your Choices Matter UK. And people will very easily be able to search for and join that. And if you go to the website, yourchoicesmatter.uk, you can click on the social media icon on the bottom with the Facebook icon, and that'll take you to the group where you can request to join. Now, as well as us producing this content, we intend to encourage our delegates to get involved. So we've already got someone lined up, a guy called Wayne. He's asked that we don't use his surname, but he is in recovery from alcohol abuse, or rather alcohol dependency. And he wants to tell his story because he wants to share how other people can avoid going down the path that he's been down, but he can also share some of the things that have helped him in his pursuit of recovery. So that's one example, but there will be many, many more. The end game objectives, as we call them. So there are more than 8, but if we were to succinctly put what we're trying to achieve here is we want to help people understand the significance of their daily choices, that those choices that we make every day matter. We would like to encourage people to ask for help as opposed to being an island, being on their own, feeling lonely, not having a friends and family network. This will be a place that people can come to for help. We want to share tools and techniques to help people. That could be instruments of the mind. It could be giving them the knowledge of how to eat better. It could be helping them resist temptation by distracting them with interests that they've never had before, interests that we help them find just by asking intelligent questions. We want people to become healthier and fitter. We want people to find and sustain employment. We want people to be able to prove it's possible to emerge from a life of addiction. And we want to be able to tell the story about what we are doing here. That's really, really important to us. So in terms of how to enroll in the program, as I've already mentioned, there is a Your Choices Matter website, yourchoicesmatter.uk, and the arrow's pointing to a registration. If you click on that, there is another thing that you can click that takes you through to this registration page, and it's very easy to register. Not all of the questions are mandatory, so you can answer some of those questions and you can opt to leave answers that you don't want to give out. And then on that website, you'll also find a video. I'm not going to play it in its entirety.
It's sometimes hard to appreciate that every choice that we make in our lives has consequences, and some in our career phases.
So this video provides a little bit of an overview of the program. It's less than 2 minutes long, but it's, I guess, a really short version of the detail I'm going through here. And then we have a downloadable brochure that people can download, and I'm just running a quick video of what's in that brochure now. So basically explains in a succinct way what the program's about and how you can actually get yourself involved, including all of our key contact details. Now, if anybody has got any questions that have been promoted by what I've said during the course of this short 25-minute video, then you can reach out to me by email at david@yourchoicesmatter.org.uk. That's david@yourchoicesmatter.org.uk, or you can contact us via telephone 01246 886 497. If no one's around to answer that call, it would allow you to leave a voice message, and we do get alerted about that voice message. It only remains for me to thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I hope you found what we've shared informative and it makes sense. But if there is any reason that you have got any further questions, then come through to us at david@yourchoicesmatter.org.uk. Thank you for your time and attention. Have a great day.